X, Twitter, X, Elon Musk, Twitter, X, Musk, Elon, whatever it is anymore. Who knows? But the thing is there's some seriously interesting things coming out of this that we should definitely be paying attention to, especially since we know what Musk wants to turn this thing into. Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Zach, the Wretched Watchman, and I'm bringing you a little bit of news revolving Twitter and some things that Elon Musk has rolled out, is testing, and is planning on getting done. Now, this is a subject where some people take interest in it, and some people just ignore it because they don't use it and they don't see anything to pay attention to. But I think all of us in the prophecy community should be paying attention to this because Elon Musk is a very interesting character that seems to be playing his way into possibly being one of the 10 kings that the Bible talks about. But he is also creating a system where he wants to create the global WeChat. And if you know what WeChat is, it's basically the system that China uses to govern and control and track everyone's life in the country. And Elon Musk wants to make that only bigger and global. And that's a big thing that we should be paying attention to because he wants to make it the everything app. And that includes a financial system. And he said it's not just like a normal bank. He can't even really explain what he means by this, but he wants to make it the global financial system. That should be something to pay attention to because, as we know, when it comes to the Antichrist beast pillars, you have the one world economy and the one world government. And if you have a bridge, a technology bridge between the two, like Elon seems to be talking about, that's something that we should definitely be paying attention to. So just recently, it was announced Elon Musk gives ex-employees 1 year to replace your bank. He goes on to say you won't need a bank account. It would blow my mind if we don't have that rolled out by the end of next year. Now, I've talked about X in the past. This was months ago where Elon Musk was filing for the proper paperwork basically to turn X into a financial system. Plus, his background in PayPal is a big sign that he knows what he's doing and has plans because that was years ago. And even back then, he wanted to create X, the everything app. And so that's what he's working on now. So if we continue in this article, this comes from The Verge. It says Elon Musk wants X to be the center of your financial world, handling anything in your life that deals with money. Doesn't say what type of money. Digital, crypto, physical, credit, carbon credits. You just never know. He expects those features to launch by the end of 2024. That's pretty quick. He told ex-employees during an all hands call on Thursday, saying that people will be surprised with just how powerful it is. When I say payments, I actually mean someone's entire financial life. That goes deep, guys. That's not just the money that you have in your bank account, but that is attaching your entire payment system, all of your bills, your digital profile. That goes much deeper than just the money that you have sitting in your bank account. Musk said, according to the audio of the meeting obtained by The Verge, if it involves money, it'll be on our platform, money or securities or whatever. So it's not just like sending $20 to my friend. See, I'm talking about like you won't need a bank account. Things are getting very interesting on this. Ex-CEO Linda Yaccarino said the company sees this becoming a full opportunity in 2024. No surprise coming from the WEF girl herself. It would blow my mind if we don't have that ruled out by the end of the year. Continues on. You see the little thing, Musk wants to beat PayPal with the PayPal playbook he wrote 2 decades ago. See, he's got some background in this. He knows what he's doing. The company is currently working on locking down money transmission licenses across the United States. We reported on some of that stuff months ago. Musk told employees Thursday that he hopes to get the others X needs in the next few months. Now, they're just talking about the US stuff. He wants to make this global. I've got a video I'll show in just a minute that shows what I'm talking about. Musk has discussed his plans to turn X into a financial hub before. He even renamed Twitter after his dot-com boom era online bank X.com, which eventually became part of PayPal. He previously said that the platform would offer high-yield money market accounts, debit cards, checks, and loan services with the goal of letting users send money anywhere in the world instantly and in real time. If everything is on the same platform, that's going to be pretty easy to not only jet money across, but it's also going to be fit for UBI, and it's also going to be fit for tracking, and it's also going to be fit for restricting money. We understand that they're trying to make money programmable. We'll talk about that in a second. It goes on to say the original plan for X.com is clearly on Musk's mind. The X/PayPal product roadmap was written by myself and David Sachs actually in July of 2000. Musk said on Thursday, internal X call. And for some reason, PayPal, once it became eBay, not only did they not implement the rest of the list, but they actually rolled back a bunch of key features, which is crazy. I don't know. When I look at something like this just tells me that God was holding things back, because he does that very, very often. And he said, we're not ready for this yet. And he held things back. That's how I read that. God's in control of everything ultimately. That's the important thing to understand here. So PayPal is actually a less complete product than what we came up with in July of 2000, so 23 years ago. Turning X into a rich hub for financial services ties directly into Musk's goal of making the platform into an everything app, akin to super apps like WeChat in China that offer access to shopping, transportation, and more. It controls their lives. And even the system that does the biometric camera and tracking that's built into every inch of China all runs through WeChat. That's very important to understand, because if you commit some type of thing that the social credit doesn't like, it can instantly hit their bank account from there. If everything's connected, they can do it that way. Goes on to say Musk faces major challenges to get there, though. Convincing people why they need such a platform is one. Getting them to trust X with their entire financial life is another. Well, if that starts taking everything down and that's your only option, and you can't, function in society without it, that's a pretty good way of getting everybody on board, in my opinion. Now, going into WeChat, this is how it works. Now, this is coming from the South China Morning Post. It says China's social app to rule them all wants to judge you for your purchases. Tencent has a new social credit system tied to WeChat Pay. So if you're buying things that they don't like and you're paying for stuff that they don't like, whether it's alcohol or something like that, which is supposedly goes against your social credit score, it keeps tabs on all of that. It can lock you out of your account. It can take money away. And it's just able to track every single thing that you do if your entire financial system runs through that and is connected to your biometric profile. You throw in a social credit score on that, and it controls everything. WeChat is the ultimate thing in China. It runs their social credit system. It runs their social media. All the text and phone calls go through it. Money goes through it. Their wallet, biometric stuff goes through there. You can pay bills through it. It's just the everything app. And Musk wants to make that, but bigger, better, and global. And when it comes to the financial system, again, they were talking about how it's going to be like nothing nobody's ever seen before. Here's an interview when he was talking about it.
Essentially, if done right, the X would be would serve people's financial needs to such a degree that over time it would become, I don't know, maybe half of the global financial system.
Wow.
Or some big number.
Okay.
I'm not sure what the number is, but pretty big. So it would be by far the biggest sort of financial institution. But like I said, not really in the way that people are used to thinking about banks. Mm-hmm. Just the most efficient database for the thing that is money. Like I said, like least amount of fraud. Everything's real time. And if it involves money in any way, it can be dealt with seamlessly on one node.
So it's a financial system that like nobody's ever seen before. And he's talking about real time, which that's what they're working on with all the CBDC stuff. Everything is done in real time. And he's talking about taking this thing globally where everything runs through it. This is a very, very scary thing because this is something that can be accomplished. And for the most part, while I'm not saying that this is, what specifically what the scripture, what the Bible tells us is going to happen, we understand that there's going to be an economic system that controls people, and then eventually you're going to need a mark in order to participate in said system. And so that's going to need to be a global system that really tracks and controls everything in your life. And we see things, signals all over the world, not just in the United States, not just one or two things, but all over the world. So many different platforms that are going for this. And this is something that the Bank for International Settlements, the ones who really control most of these organizations that we know of, the UN and the WEF and the IMF and the World Bank, they all sit underneath the Bank for International Settlements, and of course we've got the shadow government that sits above them. But the biz has come out and said they're going to make money programmable. And what that means is they're going to be able to program money, and they're the ones that are going to be in control of it, not you. And that's what they're aiming for. But Elon Musk, he wants to take this more than just financial system. He wants to create, again, the everything app for the world here. And so some of the other things that just came out in the past 2 weeks that they're working on is we got X, formerly Twitter, tests charging new users $1 a year to use basic features. Now he's talking about this as a way to keep bots off of the platform. What I see in this is you're going to have to prove your identity. You're going to have to plug in. You're going to have to give them your financial stuff, your ID, and you're going to have to give them all of this, creating your profile on this platform in order to partake in it. Now, again, I understand there's a lot of people that don't use Twitter. That's perfectly okay. But sooner or later, some type of system, whether it's this or some other system, is going to start forcing people into it if you want to partake in society. And we've seen that all through time with the development into things like credit cards and online pay and all these things. They continue to gently push the cattle towards the cliff, to kind of put it in that type of way. Then it says, threat for Tinder and Rumble. Tesla CEO Elon Musk reportedly reveals plan to turn X into a dating app and digital bank by 2024. He has come out and said he wants to turn this into a dating app as well. So now you're talking about a social system on there, not just social media, but now a social app in order to even get involved with dating and stuff like that. Now, I'm not going to go into it, but this plays a huge part in the mystery religion, eugenics, transhumanism, and the conscious evolution that they're talking about, creating this network of this stuff. It goes back into what happened in 2020 when things started going digital and the new normal and everything. I'm not going to get into it. We're getting into some of that stuff on the End Times New Age series if you want to check that out. But this is playing a part in that, and it's just making things more digital and transhuman in nature. Then, of course, we've got X. Twitter launches video and audio calls. Here's how to use them. This is part of creating that everything app where you're going to start calling people in there. You're going to start doing video chats with people in there. They're already adding video features so you can watch videos on there. They're adding more and more of these everything app features where you're not going to need all these other apps to do things. It's all going to be in one place. And this is something Musk has really been talking about. And we understand that's what he's really pushing for. And so, again, I don't like to sit here and say this is what things are going to be. And I also don't like to sit here and speculate on anything either. But what we can see from the news coming out and what is being talked about and what we can actually see being developed, a lot of what is being added to Twitter is taking steps into becoming a bridge between the one world government and the one world economy. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be that. I'm not saying it's not. But what I am saying is, even if you're somebody who doesn't use this program, we as prophecy watchers should still pay attention to what is being added to this. Because from here, things can only get a lot more interesting, in my opinion. So always be watching what's going on, because there's some very interesting things being done all the time, and they're just sneaking in, sliding in. People continue to just go with it. So be vigilant, guys, and above all, remember what we're called to do in these times. We are the blessed generation where God gave us 2 commands: warn people of what is coming and get people to Jesus. Share the gospel of Jesus Christ with as many people as you possibly can. All right, guys, I'm going to leave you right here. You guys have a great one. Peace out, and Maranatha.